the studio. A few exercises for if you can find yourself a ball, even if it's an old kid's sports ball that's a bit flat in the garden. Absolutely fine. No balls around, a small cushion will work just as well to be able to connect the two sides together and something you can be able to squeeze and move around a little bit, nothing too heavy. Let's kick in. So we start with our feet together, we're going to open, we're going to press down, we're going to activate through, and we're just going to start by giving a nice little squeeze in front. Give me 5 single knees, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other side, shift across. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's take this up with the ball. So we're going to go lift and down. Other side, lift. And you find the ball just connects your left and right. It maybe increases your change, but the balancing, you're going to find your way through. Reach and lower. And reach and lower. Maybe we can take this ball under the knees just to give ourselves that little sense of movement, switching to left and right. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come down onto the floor. We can do that by standing at the end of the mat. We're going to pop that ball between our knees and we can roll it down, rounding forward, mobilizing through the spine. Allow things to release. Relax the hands. A little wriggle moment through those shoulders. We take that stretch down through into the hamstrings, and from here we're going to walk forward. We're going to allow those knees to come down to the floor. Now nicely, we've got that ball between our knees. I like that we have our toes tucked under. That's going to stay there. And we're going to start by just getting ourselves into a really nice shoulder position, nice and low through those shoulders. Slide the shoulder blades down. Can you lift using those lower toe muscles? Lift the knees from the floor, squeeze the ball once, and lower. Well done. So it's a nice strength work for our upper shoulders too. This, go for 3 squeezes. We're going to float. Give it 3, 2, 1, and lower. So when you've got a ball or cushion, you're able to squeeze that resistance against the ball. We'll go for 5. Oh yeah, let's go. Lift, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Breathe here. Reset the shoulders low if you need to. We're going to go for 10. Do what you can. Let's try. We're going to float. And 10, 9. Keep pushing through the hands. Keep pulling through that lower tummy. 3, 2, 1, and out. We can take that ball, you can release the toes, and give yourself a nice little roll forward and back. One of the points we get the most tight with is into this upper back. So if you're able to roll out thinking about the chest coming through, if you find that too aggressive for one of your shoulders, you can just leave that wing in and try just reaching through the other side. Or you can have both elbows on the floor and just using your out breath, seeing if we're able to release and get that little bit of extension through into that back. If your forehead can make it to the floor, then maybe we can allow here and getting this chest to come through forward, allowing that extension into the back. But if we can be rolling in or out, using that ball and allowing that movement to give us that release. Well done. If we come in, the ball also gives us a really nice chance to do a modified thread the needle. So sometimes I really like using a roller, but I'll take anything that rolls. We're going to tuck that through. Threading the needle means we take the opposite hand through the hole here between the arm and leg. I'm going to use the ball, I'm going to reach and rotate through. And really here you're thinking about spinal twist. I'm taking this low shoulder under the top shoulder. I'm going to come back, I'm going to grab that ball, and I'm going to go elbow to ceiling. I'm going to push through the floor. I'm going to take my hand up to the ceiling as well. Now I want the ball as high as I can, so I'm pushing from the floor to lift my fingers higher. I'm going to come through. Let's go one more this side. Roll, reaching through, tucking under this top shoulder. And through, and lift again. Up we go. Push from the floor, raise the ball. And then we'll take this to the other side. I'm going to explain one thing. So as we roll through, I like us to keep my long arm here, my elbow nice and straight. You see a lot of people come down nice and low. That changes the stretch. And from here, I'm just trying to give us a nice, pure rotational stretch through the spine. So do both if you want to feel the difference. But my focus for this exercise for you is to get that rotation through that midpoint of the spine. We're going to come back in. We're going to push push ourselves around, we're going to reach on up. Getting that lovely big spinal twist. Let's go through one more. Reach and roll. Tucking under this top shoulder. Reaching through. Seeing if I can take this ball forward any further to you. And then we come back through. I'm grabbing that ball open. If you've got a cushion, you might choose to leave that on the floor. And we're going to come around into our back here. And it's always fun when we've got the ball to test our coordination a little bit and take it through into our scissors. So can we draw the upper body forward, draw down that lower rib cage. We get a good view of these legs here. We're going to take up one leg, we're going to pass the ball underneath. Whether you lower and lift switch, which would be more of an entry level exercise, or whether you're able to scissor switch and place it through. Your main focus here is able to keep that low back down in neutral, or what I call imprinted into the mat, so that low back can settle down into the mat. I just want you to have a really good idea about where it is, so you know if it's shifting and lifting, because then we need to take it down a notch and have one foot in contact with the floor. So we're going to pass through another 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's have a go at 8 faster. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll take that head down, just taking the extra tension out of the head and neck. Breathe it in here for me. We're going to have another go. We're going to curl forward, drawing that rib cage in again, and we go slow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Step it up now. 8, 6, 2, and 1. Down we go. Breathe again. We've got one more round in us. Oh yes, we do. Well done. Pushing out our endurance, increasing our strength. On your next breath out now. Let's go. Curl forward. Exhale. Draw into that rib cage. We're going to go slow. Switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go faster. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. Before we drop in, I'm going to put the ball between our knees, and I'm going to lower myself down. Probably find I need to retuck my shoulder blades underneath from the reaching forward I was doing before. I want to really feel where my feet are. I'm aware of my heels, spreading out my toes, so I've got good coverage to the ground. From here, we'll take it into a bridge, and we're going to take that work from the tummy out into, switch it to the glute side, into the back, into our extensors. So pushing down, we're going to lift, you're going to squeeze those glutes. While we're up here, I'm going to get you to squeeze the ball. 1, 2, 3. Can we lower the height of the hips? Just a third down, squeeze again. 1, 2, 3. Lower a third, squeeze. 1, 2, 3. Let's touch down. 2. Lift up again. Up and hold. Extra work. We can take hands to ceiling. Squeezing. 1, 2, 3. Lower. 1, 2, 3. Lower. Squeeze. 2, 3. Touch down. One more round. Let's go. Lift. Hold here at the top. Lifted. Squeeze. 2, 3. Lower. Squeeze. 2, 3. Lower. Squeeze. 2, 3. And down. Hands are lifted, so let's curl forward. Grab these legs so we can bring them in. From here, we're able to lower the head back down, and we're going to use our hands for a little bit of assistance. Give yourself a nice little relax through our feet, and we're going to try to extend these legs out. Ball between our knees still. We're going to reach up into extension and curl it back in. And reach, and in. 2 more. Reach, in, reach, and adding a front curl, bringing that nose towards the ball. Curl, and you get extra bonus points if you can lower tummy tuck through those glutes. And tuck, and lower, and tuck, and one more, tuck, and hold. By doing that, our low back is settled quite nice and low to the ground. So now I'm going to point my toes, I'm going to draw in my lower tummy, I'm going to keep this contact with the mat to keep my back safe. As I lower my toes towards the floor and draw them back in. Now you're going to stop at any point where you feel your back wanting to pop or lift. So you can use your exhale, drop that rib cage in, helping hold those front abdominals. And you're just drifting those toes down towards the mat as far as you feel you're able to control. One more here. And in. We can increase that challenge by doing exactly the same thing out between the feet. Now between the feet, what happens? It's further from our centre. You might find you've got a little less control on that ball. Let's find out. We're going to press and in. 2 and in. 3 and in. 4. Good job. Curl. Now it's nose to knees this time. But make sure you don't get too black eyes. Watch what you're doing. And in. You can use a hand to assist you at any point. We have that head off the floor too. Final point here, point the toes. We're going to lower that ball down towards the floor. Again, only as far as you're able to control and keep that low back nice and close down to the ground. All about maintaining and building strength. The last thing you want to do is challenge yourself too far at an early stage. So watch and build up with us. Tap and in. Let's grab that ball, stretching the legs out again. Give yourself a little wobble side to side. Let's roll ourselves up to sitting. We're going to reach forward with the ball. Lift up, 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 up. Reaching forward with that ball. And we can pop it down to reach forward and grab hold of our legs. Give yourself a little wobble side to side. And we're going to come around into all fours. Give ourselves some nice work into our extensors. We're going to take ourselves into our 4-point kneeling. We're going to nice long crown to tail. We're going to scoop and draw in through the lower tummy. And we're going to take the ball and reach it out in one hand. Now if you do have a cushion here, just use your hand and you can ditch the cushions. It might be a bit awkward to move around. Otherwise, we're going to reach it out. And we're going to reach out the opposite leg. So it's a nice long stretch. Now I'm going to come and touch that ball to my knee under the table and reach out again. 3 more. Now you'll note here I'm keeping my back nice and steady and still. Because it's going to change. We change it up. This time we're going to come round it, and I want you to bring that ball underneath your body. You're going to round over the top of it, tucking in that knee, tucking in the head, and then balance yourself back out to full stretch. Let's go again. Tuck in and round over, and reach. This time your vestibular system, your inner ear, is getting moved as you lower down. So if you have challenge with your balance, because of your inner ear or regular ear infections, you might find that's more of a challenge for you, / exercise, alright? So it's not a bad thing for you to have a go at. Often, so we're going to go flat back first. Often the exercises that challenge our balance or our somatosensory system are the treatment for it. So if you feel it's a challenge, keep having a go. We're going to go curling now. Tuck it in, rounding, pulling the knee and the head, and then reaching out. Give me 3 more. Round, tuck it in, tuck it in, tuck it in. And reach. Last 2. Round, tuck it in, and lengthen. 1 more. Round, tuck it in, and reach, and back in. Let's tuck those toes under, pop the ball back between our knees to come back up into stand. I'm going to push that weight back onto the feet. We're going to round ourselves, coming up into standing, rebuilding the spine, block by block, up we come, nice and tall. Well done. Good fun. The balls are great fun and a nice way to kind of change up an exercise. See ya.